On the old show today, we're going to be asking the big question, were there aliens on the moon? And are they still there? On today's episode of Back to Paranormal. Well, hello, and we are here, and you're there, listening, which is really terrific. This is another episode of Back to Paranormal, and I am here with my beautiful co-host. She is beautiful! Marjorie. How you doing, Marjorie?
I am very well, and thank you for such a good compliment.
And my name is Brian Mitchell. Did I say that?
No, you didn't say it yet.
Well, I'm saying it now. There you go. And
Hi, everybody.
So we co-host this show, and we're glad that you can be listening. And we got a doozy of a show for you today, which we're going to be talking about aliens on the moon, and are they still there? And other questions, because there's some miraculous stuff about the moon that we're going to talk about. So, but before we do that, we have a very special.
our drink.
Our drink.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call it? Interstellar? No.
In honor of tonight's episode,
Okay.
I have concocted for you
What did you concoct?
the most delicious sounding cocktail. It's called and folks,
Yes.
if you're listening, it's an actual cocktail. It really is. Like it's out there.
It's a real thing.
It's called an alien secretion.
An alien secretion. There we go. Sounds yummy. Is this
You're
a?
Oh, I'm my mouth watering.
My mouth is watering right now. No, what is that an actual drink or is that a
it
creation?
is a legit thing.
That is legit.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
There are variations to the recipe.
Okay.
But it's equal parts vodka, pineapple juice, coconut rum, and Midori.
I had a
shaken.
Shaken, not stirred.
Comes out a little green. Not gonna lie.
Right. I had a feeling it had pineapple juice in it. Because when you think of alien secretions, that's the first thing you think of.
Well, I figured if there was one thing about this beverage that would be appetizing to you in any way, it would be the pineapple.
The pineapple. All right. Well, shall we toast? Let's toast.
Let's boop.
Let's toast. To all our fans and listeners at Back to Paranormal. So here you go. Clink.
3, 2, 1, boop.
There.
I did it.
Clink.
I did the countdown.
There we go. Ooh.
I just drank an alien.
Yes, you did.
So
And
gross.
so did I. I feel strange. Okay.
I'm stuck talking like...
I talk like an alien. Yeah. Or something. All right.
That's exactly what they sound like.
They sound like that.
So we drank the right drink.
Or they sound like Latka Gravas from Taxi. Kind of like that.
No, Balky.
Balky.
Balky from...
Oh, all right. From Perfect Strangers.
Perfect Strangers. He cried me.
Oh, did he really say that?
No.
Balky. That's an inside joke. Anyway.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
no, that's okay.
We digress. Alien secretion. Actually, I recommend it. Just don't tell people what it's called.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah, just tell me it's a concoction you made up. Because alien secretion could give them the wrong idea.
They might run
Yes.
for the hills.
Anyway.
So, yes, people have been asking, is there an alien presence on our moon, our lunar satellite?
Like right now or in the past?
People have been asking this for thousands of years.
I know, man on the moon and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They also thought it was made of cheese because
they
of all the holes.
also thought it was made of Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
But it's not made of Swiss cheese. But there are a lot of...
There we go. Alien secretion. Yes.
Newsflash.
Here we go.
But a lot of people have brought up some very interesting... Now, this sounds like a crazy topic, okay? But most of our topics sound crazy, so let's just keep...
Yeah, just go with it.
Let's keep doing it.
Go with it. No, there's some really...
We do it for the listeners. But
there's
there
some
are a
very
lot of
interesting
really,
facts.
really strange things about our moon. A lot of strange
A lot of
things about
strange
our moon.
things. Like, what's one of them?
Well, number one, it's not meant to sustain any form of life. And yet, when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin got back in their command module and they were leaving the moon, they were all like, hey, did you see those flashing lights all around?
Right.
And they had this discussion, and they saw 3 glowing lights on the surface of the moon on the edge of a crater, and they saw other flying lights going around them. And Neil Armstrong said to Buzz Aldrin, yeah, I saw about 100 of them.
This was in 1969?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
And not only that, but this is, it's a satellite. It's not a planet, and it should not emit any luminescence at all of its own. Its luminescence comes from its reflection of our sun,
Right.
The center of our solar system.
Yeah.
And yet, when Michael Collins was in the command module while Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong were exploring the surface of the moon.
Now, with 3 astronauts, I don't mean to stop you.
No, please.
But 3 astronauts. So it was Buzz.
Yeah.
It was Armstrong.
Correct.
And then you had Mr. Collins.
Correct.
And Collins
was the genius pilot.
Yes, so
he
was
couldn't go on the moon.
Right. He was basically linked to that ship. He could not leave that ship.
No, they needed his
expertise.
Piloting. Yeah,
Yes.
and he was an excellent pilot. And
Okay.
he had to fly around the moon. So he went around the backside of the moon, which we never see.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. And there was a very, very large, bright spot emanating from that dark side of the moon,
Right.
which the side that faces us,
Yeah.
there's no such thing.
Right. Yeah, that's the interesting thing about that is that, our planet turns. Earth turns. It turns on its axis,
Yes.
right? And so it because of that, it's always, one time during the day or another, it's always facing the sun. Like, maybe I'm not explaining that correctly.
Well,
you know what?
I don't know exactly what you're saying, and the term for it is synchronous rotation.
There you go.
Okay?
Okay. But
That's the rotation relationship that our Earth has with the moon, and that's why we only see one side.
Of the moon?
That's why we from Earth only see the one face of the moon.
Of the moon. But the moon the dark side of the moon never faces us.
Right, because it takes just as long to rotate the Earth on its axis as it does to rotate on its own.
Right. Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, every part of this Earth, except for there are certain parts that don't always have sun. Like I think, up north, right, only has sun like 6 months out of the year.
Correct.
Right, because of the axis, right?
Correct.
But you have basically everything around the equator. It doesn't have to be that close in proximity, is going to face the sun at some point during the day.
Correct.
Okay, and the moon doesn't work that way at all. It's always
Not in relationship to our planet.
exactly
Okay.
Okay, so it's always facing one side is always facing us, and the other side we never see.
So the entire hemisphere of the face of the moon that faces some part of Earth or another at some point during the day has not one single area of it that projects its own light from its own planetary body.
Right.
But the dark side of the moon had a massive area that was entirely illuminated.
Yeah.
And that is so odd.
It is odd.
That shouldn't happen. That's a complete anomaly for a
Right.
so-called solid rock lunar satellite.
Right. That's very interesting. Now, how does this equate to like the aliens?
Okay, there are other things that when they took photographs, when the moon has been photographed, there are certain geologic anomalies that shouldn't be there. Now, everybody knows that because the moon doesn't have any atmosphere, that it has been bombarded for billions of years by other astral rock asteroids. These asteroids have been bombarding forever. There shouldn't be things like spires and land bridges. There are a couple spires that they've been photographed that are taller than the Sears Tower.
Amazing. It's really
Right?
amazing.
It
Yeah.
really is amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, the whole thing is covered with craters for a very.
But that's on the dark side, right? That's on the side that we don't see.
I don't know what side those spires are on, but
I believe it's on the dark side.
on the dark side.
The dark
There are a
side.
lot of very, very interesting, very curious things that are on the surface of the moon that, just by the nature of the moon being hit thousands of times, they shouldn't be there.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, right?
There's another very interesting thing about the craters on the moon.
They're not very deep.
They're not. They're all the same depth.
Yeah.
They vary in diameter, but they're all the same depth. And they don't look like an impact crater. Like on our planet, what is now the Black Sea,
Yes.
that was the point of an impact.
Of an impact where it leaves a
It's
dent.
very, very deep.
Yeah.
But all the craters across the entire surface of the moon are of the same exact depth.
Yeah.
And at the center of the impact point, they are convex,
Right.
which means they are rounded out as
Toward
opposed to
us.
in.
Right.
Which
Which is concave.
right,
So you're going basically if something hit the Earth, basically you're getting concave, which is basically you get that huge
it's
round dent.
indented, yeah,
Right. And here it's basically the opposite way,
Right.
which is crazy. That's not supposed to happen.
yeah. The terrain, the rock there is proud, so-called proud of the impact site, which doesn't make it. It just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
You know,
No,
you throw a rock in something, it's going to make a dent.
that's right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not just going to leave some faint, vague, uniform a depth across the entire surface of that of the moon. It's just so odd. I love our moon. I don't want to say bad things about our moon.
We're not saying anything bad about the moon.
Well,
it's just
we're
a lot of
saying
mysteries.
it's very suspicious.
Well, it is very suspicious, and there's some theories out there that the reason why it exists. Now, a lot of people don't get this, and some people do. They understand this, but the Earth actually controls. I mean, the moon. I'm sorry, the moon actually controls the tides on our planet.
Correct.
Helps control the weather, and there are other things that it controls. And it
stabilizes the rotation upon our axis.
there you go.
If we didn't have this moon exactly as it is, we
Right.
wouldn't have tides, and we would be roaming around the solar system like a drunken,
A drunken
drunken
planet.
sailor. Sorry, sailors. It's just a term.
Right.
It's just a figure of speech. There are other things that are odd. So,
Like what? I was about to bring up a few, but good.
okay, it is the only moon in our entire solar system that has a near perfect circular orbit. Its diameter, exactly upon its equator, is 2,160 miles of diameter. Not 2,159, not 2,161.
No, it's
Exactly a perfect number.
Right.
The solar diameter is 400 exactly times the diameter of the moon, and exactly 400 times the distance from the moon as the moon is from Earth.
And what does that do? When we have an eclipse, what happens?
It gives us perfect solar eclipses.
Right.
Complete solar eclipses.
From our distance here to the moon and then to the sun actually totally blocks the sun.
Completely blocks the sun.
Completely, perfectly.
Perfectly. The only reason we get a corona is because of the radiance of the sun.
Right. But the other thing,
But
too...
these perfect numbers don't exist in nature.
No. But the other weird thing about that is that it had to be in a perfect orbit to actually...
The alignment.
The alignment, which is like those odds are like billions to one.
Zillions to one.
Trillions and zillions. No, it's real. No, it's really incredible.
You always say, Brian, I don't believe in coincidences.
I don't.
And no, this is just too much perfection to be a happy accident.
Right. So there are two beliefs that the moon is not. It's either artificial in nature, right? If it is natural, and this is another fact, I guess, or another point, is there are other planets that have moons.
Mm-hmm. Plural.
Yeah, but they are not as big as the ratio from Earth to the moon. So a lot of those moons are small. They're tiny, but this almost seems.
Yeah, they have their moons, but they don't have that much of an influence on the actual planet.
Right, but they're just not as huge.
They
orbit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean the moon is huge, and it circles the planet in a very close proximity, but it stays in this perfect orbit, and so that's really, really crazy. But I guess the other point that I wanted to make out. Talk about the moon is really the fact that it exists, and really there are people that believe. I'm sorry, I'm actually losing my point here. There are people that believe that it's alien by nature. Okay, that it was somehow towed into position. And or it could be divine. It could be something that was created divine in nature. Okay, so God created it to help stabilize the planet so that you could have life here.
Well, I mean that is a very valid thing to say, because I think, the Lord is actually the ultimate extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
But anyway, you were saying.
Yeah, but anyway. The thinking here now, there were shows that ancient aliens, whatever, and they believe that this giant thing was constructed and then towed into place. And I'm thinking, how could that be? How could something like this be constructed and then towed into the planet, into the planet's orbit, Earth's orbit? And because it's just so massive, how would that happen? So I tend to think it's more divine in nature. But there's something else about the moon, which is the fact that when I believe the spaceship took off, and what was that, Apollo
11?
Was it Apollo 11?
Well, I believe Apollo 11 and Apollo 12.
Right.
When they departed.
Apollo 11 departed, and they let part of the ship go and land on the planet.
Right.
And when that happened, it didn't just land with a thud. It kind of rang when it hit the surface, which kind of indicates that the planet is hollow.
It rang for about 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Hour.
And I think they repeated the experiment, but at a much greater impact.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, like very intentional. I think
Yes.
that was at the missive of Werner von Braun.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it hit, it was hitting at a much faster impact, and it did the same thing. It ended up ringing, and
for 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah.
So that is very, very interesting. So there are people that believe that it is some sort of like really this almost like I don't want to call it a planet or a satellite. What would we call this? Some space object that was put in there with some sort of guidance in order for it to orbit the Earth.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
it's just why would they intentionally have done that twice?
What? Drop the...
Yeah.
I think it was just to verify to make sure that it was not just a one-off result. Because maybe an area might have been hollow,
That's true.
and maybe they dropped it off at another area. That's something I'm not sure about.
I just think these are all very, very interesting questions. There's an ancient Zulu legend about the deities that created the earth, and what they did was they stole an egg from another deity. They hollowed it out and brought it to the earth.
Now this is a myth,
Yeah, well, this is
Or-
their belief.
right? Okay.
But ancient, and they talk about the time before the moon, and they're not the only culture that talks about the time, quote, before
Before
the
the
moon.
moon, yeah.
And yet, what other thing that I find kind of befuddling and worth looking into is if scientists came along and said, no, 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 the moon was formed when another very large Mars-sized planet collided with what is now our Earth and created Earth, and all that debris, all that chaos, all that, whatever buckshot that scattered, swirled and twirled and twirled around into this perfect size, perfect orbit, perfect distances at
Yeah.
perfect numerical
Right.
distances between the sun and us and this and that. All that chaos and all that debris would just circulate around and create this perfect thing to help us be the planet, the planet Earth with life and trees and seas that have tides and a perfect orbit and seasons and all this. And
A lot of people feel that does not make any sense.
it doesn't, because there are a lot of scientists who say the moon is older than our Earth.
Interesting.
But I think that the bright spot that's this huge area of luminescence that's on the dark side of the moon that is not repeated anywhere else on the side of the surface that faces Earth. The Sears towers that are standing up, spires and things that are elevated over the surface of the moon that really should have been obliterated by asteroids long, long, long ago.
Yeah. Yeah. It should be flat.
That's what I find weird. Like,
Right.
what are these things doing here? And why are our astronauts seeing flashing lights and other light beings or objects on the surface and above the surface of
Right.
the moon?
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Interesting, Captain.
It is interesting. Another thing that a lot of people find interesting is that in this big press conference after that first moon landing with Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and Michael Collins, instead of being, first of all, number one, happy to be back on Earth and alive. Okay.
And happy about the accomplishment, right?
And feeling really, high as a kite. You just were the first men to go to the moon ever. And
They were all pretty much the opposite of
if
that.
you look at the expressions on their face, if you ever have the opportunity to just cue up the footage, it's all over. They
Yeah, it's
look
everywhere. Yeah.
stressed, they're sweaty, they look dour. They look like they're very reticent
Yeah.
and to be forthcoming with any expressiveness, any verbiage. Not, yay, I just went to the moon and now I'm home with my family.
Right.
And I'm a national hero. They look
Sullen.
very sullen.
Yeah.
And as if they had just come out of a very, very traumatic experience.
Yeah. Interesting, right?
My brother met Buzz Aldrin.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Where did he meet him?
At an Explorers Club gala. Yeah, they
Wow.
were at the same table.
Oh, very neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I wonder what it was like. And
Did he say to him, hey, You weren't really on the moon, were you? That's all staged in Hollywood. Yeah, I think he's punched people out for the statements like that.
Has he punched people out?
I went down.
No, my brother's way too polite for that. Way too polite for that.
he
He's
wouldn't say
too
that.
respectful.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But, no, I mean, I've always had a lot of questions about this. I mean, even when I was a little kid and I would see that, I'm not saying we haven't been to the moon. I would never be so daft as to say something like that.
Right.
We don't spend billions of dollars for,
No.
But the footage, when I was very small, I remember watching it, and I was like, it just doesn't really look real.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm right,
Right.
but I've always kind of harbored this back of my mind suspicion, just the curvature of the horizon.
Yeah.
It's like, that shouldn't be curved like that.
Right.
And the flag should be going up. And there were just some things that didn't ring
Well, you have
100%.
you have this expertise in physics, so you kind of
Not an expertise. No. Yes, I do. I do love the study of physics.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, but there were a lot of things that I kind of questioned just about the footage, and
I'm gonna put it out here because I think that sometimes when you I think back in the day when they used to transmit just to TVs from like New York City out to Long Island, and if you were beyond a certain range, it would become very fuzzy. And, this is a transmission from the moon to Earth. And so maybe the powers that be at NASA wanted to transmit images, but maybe the images were not that good, and maybe they kind of fabricated the images, even though they did go there.
Yes, I would never. Like I said, I do believe that.
Yeah.
I don't believe the footage.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
But I could be wrong, and Buzz Aldrin is more than welcome to try and come punch me out.
Well, I think there was a lot of questions about the shadows, and the flag always looked kind of weird to me. It almost looked like it was propped up because there's no wind, right? There's no air, so there's no wind. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to put a flag on the moon, you have to somehow prop up the flag.
It has a baton at the top.
Yeah.
But if they really wanted me to believe things a little better, they might have invested in a baton down at the bottom.
The bottom, yeah. Right, exactly.
A heavy one.
Yeah. So, well, okay, so basically on the dark side of the moon, right, they've seen things. Basically, Colin saw stuff. There's stuff on footage. I mean, you can look this up online on YouTube and stuff, and you can actually see there are things that look like structures on the dark side of the moon.
There are things that look like structures, yes.
And so, it's possible that there were aliens there in the past, but some people still believe that there's aliens there now. And even on planet Earth here, where aliens have some sort of a base, maybe underwater, or and maybe somehow that's tied in with the moon.
A lot of people believe that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. What do we have any other information on that, or
on whether there are aliens on the moon? I just find it really, really curious as to why there are structures or things that look like structures and spires or obelisks.
compared to the other side.
The whole rest of the completely cratered out surface of the moon. And what was this big bright spot that Michael Collins saw when he was orbiting through the dark side? What if the moon does emit its own luminescence that irrespective of the sun? What's this big bright spot, and why doesn't it occur elsewhere on the moon? Why is it only on the side that is concealed from Earth?
That is another very interesting point.
These are very interesting questions, and I just feel so bad that I don't have any of the answers. But even in 5,000 5th century BC, Greek and Roman writers were talking about there was a time before the moon, and they were discussing this, and which I just find very, very interesting.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine our Earth without the moon. I wouldn't. If I had ever become a poet, I wouldn't. I would be writing odes to the moon. I wouldn't be talking about a time before the moon. I can't even fathom a time that there had been a time before the moon. But clearly, there are plenty of people around the planet, plenty of cultures who do believe that there was a time before the moon.
Yeah. That's interesting.
You know?
Yeah. A lot of good stuff.
I love the moon. When
Yeah.
when I was a little girl, and I would see the light that stream of light that the moon reflects across the water, and it's like this scintillating perfect line.
Oh, that's right.
That
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah.
And I remember I was little, and I said to my father, it was like, I said, "Daddy, that's my moon path, and when I die and go to heaven, I will walk on my moon path to get to heaven." And
Wow.
he usually wouldn't, BS me or anything like that. Excuse me. And he looked at me and he said, "I believe you're right." It was very kind.
Very kind.
But yeah, I mean, we have this very, very powerful relationship with this object, and yet there still is just so much mystery. And it almost seems like the more we find out, the more questions, that are there.
That's true. I think we're magnetically drawn to the moon.
Oh, absolutely.
I think, you hear about weird things that happen. People, I think there's more, I don't know if it's accidents or if it's, people having fights when there's a full moon.
Oh, it's called lunacy. That's why they call it lunacy.
Yeah. And I think hospitals actually get filled up with patients.
I have been told
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
One of my brothers is a doctor, and he said, "Oh my gosh, the ER."
Right.
When he did his ER rotation in medical school, all the nurses were like, "Yeah, full moon, yay."
I wonder if it's ever happened that there's a full moon and the opposite has happened. I wonder if that's ever happened or ever been recorded.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
interesting.
It is interesting.
Lots of good stuff here.
But some people and a lot of cultures around the earth think that the moon is something that's watching over us, which I guess in theory, and she is.
Well, it does have a positive effect on Earth, and it
is
stabilizes
watching over
us
us.
as a planet. But what I was saying before was basically it would be like a space station if that's what really happened with aliens towing it into orbit and then having something inside, like a spacecraft. Mm-hmm. And somebody said it's like like in Star Wars they had the Dark Star. What do they call it?
The Death Star.
Death Star.
Death Star.
Just not a Death Star for us, but
A Life Star.
yeah, but kind of like this this self-propelled ship, basically, a gigantic ship.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
And
why I think
don't-
it's
and I
more.
don't
That's
know
why I
why-
really think it's more divine in nature.
I do believe in its divinity. Yes, its divine origins, but I also think that there was a highly intelligent design behind this, because these perfect numbers, just like I said, don't exist in nature. And why is it that some scientists say, no, it was created when Earth was being created, and it was, created to perfection from this spin-off of chaos from a planetary collision. And then why do some scientists say, no, it predates the Earth by billions of years?
Yeah,
That's too far afield.
and it's too much of a coincidence.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, why will some people say there was the Garden of Eden, and other people say, no, we came from fish
Yeah.
and things. I don't know anymore.
Fish and things.
Fish and things.
Isn't there a restaurant called Fish and Things? I don't know. That's pretty interesting. Well, look, we're never going to know this stuff, but
I'm
if
glad that I like talking about it though, because it's exciting. The mystery. I get excited by mysteries.
I get excited by the fact that
You're mysterious.
I am Mr. Mysterious.
This drink is mysterious.
Yes, the alien secretion, copyrighted by Marjorie over here. No, it actually makes me feel good that these things happen, and it can't be an accident.
No.
I think there is an intelligence in the universe, and you may want to call that God. I believe in God. I believe in something that's basically looking over us and making sure that everything kind of aligns correctly. And I think that's what that's all about.
It's
So
the
maybe it sounds too simplistic.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, but
there
it's
is a divine perfection to that.
Yeah.
Like when I iron your shirts.
She irons my shirts.
To divine perfection.
To divine perfection. I'm just, you notice how I'm just saying it back to her because, yeah, I'm hypnotized
by the alien secretion.
Yes, exactly.
No, but see, this is just it, and this is why I love recording this show, is because I still need to believe in that things are so much more mysterious, that we haven't figured everything out, that Bigfoot does exist, and maybe one day I will see one.
Yeah.
And the mystery that's still the romance of the mystery, maybe I don't want to get it all sorted. I'm happy with question marks hanging in the air.
They're question marks, but the information that is there makes me feel very warm and fuzzy inside. Like, it's a good thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like God was looking out for us.
Yeah.
He always is.
There are some people that believe, with aliens, that they are superior in intelligence. And...
Well, that's not that hard.
I think... I think when you have a higher intelligence, that they want the best for us, and I don't think they're here to harm us. I think they're here to kind of guide us, and so I like to think optimistically about this type of thing. If there's aliens out there, I mean, they could have easily, for thousands of years, they could have just basically come in and just destroyed us. So they didn't. And so I think there's more good things out there than we give it credit.
I agree.
So anyway,
I agree.
What are we doing next week?
Oh, you know what? There's a new paranormal show, and we are going to discuss it. And it's basically the UK's response to Paranormal Caught on Camera.
And what is that called?
It's called Unexplained Caught on Camera.
There you go. So much for originality.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
You've got to check it out, and we are going to discuss it.
It's actually in the same time slot as the Travel Channel's Paranormal Caught on Camera.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, it's basically, kind of took it over. But
I see.
I think some of the shows are actually older shows, and but they're running it, and we've never seen it, and we've been watching it, and it's a quite an interesting show, and I think the perspectives are a little bit different.
The perspectives are, the presentation is a little bit different.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about that on the next show.
I love I love watching it just because of all the accents.
Oh yeah. It's all across the globe. So yeah, no, it's an interesting show, and they come up with some pretty good stuff.
They do.
So we'll talk about that, and we're going to be doing another show, which is basically about why we do what we do, and so we're going to talk about that, and that will be maybe in a couple of weeks. We'll have that show.
Let's do it.
You're going to do it.
A couple of weeks.
All right. So anyway, I really enjoyed the alien secretion.
I really enjoyed the alien secretion, and you at home will enjoy the alien secretion.
Yeah.
If you can get past the name of it.
The name of it. Anyway, we have a Facebook page. You guys should go to that and check us out. Occasionally we'll post some stuff about paranormal stuff, some clips, and also updates on some of the shows and all these other wonderful things. So check it out. Join our Facebook page. And we also have a website, which is backtoparanormal.com. Who would have thought that that's the name of it? And you go there, check out. There's a couple of articles there, too. Check out on our blog. And I think that kind of wraps it up for today.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm happy to be back in our old studio.
We are, we should have said that from the get-go.
I know, I forgot to say.
Feels
good to be.
It does feel good. Our original studio, we had air conditioning issues, and it was making a lot of racket, and so we had to kind of move out of the studio for a couple of months, and then now we're back in it. And
Yay!
Yay! And it's it's a very comfortable environment over here now. So we're back in here. So you might notice that in the acoustics. The acoustics. All right.
I enjoyed talking about this with you. All right, everybody out there, thank you for listening. And
thank you. And
let us know how you feel. Comments.
Yeah,
subscribe.
Subscribe.
Make a comment already.
Yeah, we're waiting for some.
Yeah.
We get some good comments.
Chime in. Good, bad, ugly.
No, just
suggestions.
good.
Suggestions. Anything you want us to talk about?
Get rid of that Brian guy.
No way.
He's mucking things up.
No way.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Can't do this without you, my love.
Hey, I can't do it without you, and we can't do it without our audience. Yes, so, please tune back in and listen to us for another episode of Back to Paranormal. Good night, everybody, and God bless you.
God bless. Good night.
Good night.